Nobody who's been successful, everything I ever read about business, nobody has started a business and it went great.
Exactly.
I'm still looking for that story.
It doesn't exist.
I want all of us to talk about credit.
Started from the hustle, now we playing it smart. Put the system in position, took the grind out the heart. Got a team on a vision, every role playing part. Ain't no job, it's a business, that's the real boss art. We the 2 Exit Podcast.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Sam Mitchell. Welcome to Freedom to Exit here in Atlanta. Our business, our company, Exit Factor North. I'm one of the consultants here. Here's our president, Josiah Wiley. One of our other consultants over there, Nadia. We have Maurice over there, and I'll save you last for this reason. Man, we have an unbelievable guest here today, and she's gonna help us dive into something that a lot of small business owners struggle with. You know, and look, what you have to do to get your business off the ground, to grow your business, to be successful, you do what you have to do, man. You get in the mud, you get in the dirt, you grind, whatever you have to do. But at a certain point, once you get that business to a certain level, it's time to scale that business. It's time to grow that business. It's time to bring you out of the darkness and into the light. And Floyd, we got the young lady here that can do that. Floyd, introduce our guest, who she is, what she does. And again, we're gonna clean up all of this stuff for the back end of your business for our small business owners out there so you can scale and grow your business and take it to new heights.
Yeah, today we have been honored to have Miss Nicole Erica, who has been a godsend for me and some of our clients because, as you mentioned, Sam, many times when we look at these small businesses, one of the biggest things that challenges a lot of small businesses is raising capital and running out of money and funds and resources, and how to manage the money, how to manage the financial resources. And that seems to be a big struggle and ongoing conversation that we have, you and I, and all of our team, with a lot of the small business owners. But working with Necole has helped us be able to work with those clients and get them to understand that there's a process in really how you present your financials, right? And how you tell the story, as I talked about, how you tell your financial story when we're talking about raising capital and lending. So I'm glad to have her with us, and she's gonna probably be a godsend to a lot of the business owners in the audience today.
Nicole, I wanna ask you to start with this, and we're gonna dive into some really touchy topics, but the first one is, what do most business owners misunderstand when you talk about SBA loans? You know, a lot of SBA out there, a lot of people needing capital. What do people not understand about SBA loan?
Well, with SBA loan, the first thing that you have to have the credit. And they don't understand that that's the first thing that they will look at.
And what kind of score is that?
It needs to be at least at a 680.
Okay.
A 680 or above. And you have two different types of qualifications for SBA. You have revenue driven and you have gross driven. So if having a 700 credit score will give you revenue so you can maximize the type of money that you want. So basically, it all goes with your financials. So your financials will, if you're trying to get a larger amount of SBA, we will look at that, but the credit score will indicate if you will qualify for that.
Now I got one other course, because Floyd and I have had some conversation with you, and I didn't know this. You guys have short-term lending. You have access, also you have access to capital within 24 to 48 hours. How does that work? And then for larger amounts, it may take more, but I think a lot of small business owners don't understand how quickly, if they qualify, they can access capital.
Oh, yes. Well, that's also based on credit.
Yeah.
With having if you have the revenue, that's the most important part. Your company needs to at least generate $10,000 a month to qualify for a revenue-driven loan. And it's based off of your credit. It could be at a 550. And we can still help the client, which is really good. But it's a bridge loan, I would call it, because once we can help them get capital, use that capital to bridge them over to a better loan with the SBA. We can help them with their credit, develop it so they can get a better lending term.
Nicole, you brought something up that's very interesting. You talked about the bridge loan. And can you kind of give more specifics about the bridge loan, because it's really a loan to get you to the next place.
Yeah, bridge loan is, people have challenges.
Yeah.
So we don't want to say no. So we want to find a solution to help them. And so with that, giving them a look based off the generation of what they're bringing in, what the revenue they're bringing in, we can help them get some type of capital to bridge them over so it can help them, but we can help them grow to scale to get a better loan so they can sustain themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's important.
Now, Coach, let me just take a little step back, just ask you a little bit more questions about yourself. So are you from Atlanta? Like, how long have you been working in this market?
I've been in this industry for 16 years, and I've been in Atlanta since 2009.
Since 2009, okay. And before that, where did you come from?
Well, my corporate background, I have, what do you want to go with the corporate?
Yeah, just a little bit further.
I worked for Securitas. I was a regional branch manager for them. So I was managing over 200 employees.
Gotcha.
From there, I was very young. I was the only African-American woman there. It was predominantly all white male. So it was, I thought they got me in there for tax purposes.
You're probably not wrong.
What is this? Is this a setup?
Tax purposes.
No training, it just threw me in there. I was like, okay, But it made me strong, It made me prove myself.
That's great.
So it brought in the hard workmanship to understand how to don't allow a challenge to defeat you, And I worked there for 3 years, and then from there I worked with Rev Local, and they help small businesses develop themselves through SEO.
So you have a real passion for helping businesses that are in a position where they need capital to scale, grow, fulfill inventory, all those different things. What really cultivated that passion for you?
When I worked for FleetCor, when we helped small business owners qualify for business credit cards, well, at that time, no one was being able to. I developed to be qualified. I developed this fantastic program, worked with Home Depot, and it's still going on now, Build a Pro. I developed that. And
nice.
But no one could qualify. And it was like, okay, this is a need here. I started to see, the banks don't have no place to help small business owners. You can't go to a bank and they're going to tell you no. There is no way that you can get assistance there. So I saw the need. From working at FleetCor, working with the banks, they didn't really, if they didn't have it, they didn't have it. But the small business owners were suffering. So that gave me my passion to want to go and start my own company.
That's awesome. And, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs or even younger people in market today that work for other employers that want to be a business owner, right? That have a desire or passion to own their own business, right? But they don't know how. They don't know how because they don't have the means to be able to buy a business, let's say.
Right.
So what advice would you give to somebody like that?
Well, one thing, I wouldn't advise them, well, trying to start a business from scratch, you're going to use your own money. And that's a no-no. And they don't understand how to qualify to be able to use other people's money to pivot.
And that's a key point. OPM is when I was in the corporate world, we would spend all kinds of money and we'd be like, it's OPM, other people's money, right?
That's the way to grow.
And that's the way to grow. So as somebody that's trying to figure this out, it's important to think about using other people's money, right? And not using your savings account necessarily to be able to obtain that growth, right?
Correct.
I want to ask this question and open this up to all the consultants. And this is something I want to leave enough time to talk about this. This is a big thing. Florida and I and all of us have experienced this. When you talk to small business owners and they're trying to raise capital or they're trying to have an influx of capital to grow, to scale their business, to go to that next level. And they're embarrassed because at some point, you got to open your books up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to let the people see who you're going to for this capital. They got to see who and where you are in your business. And a lot of business owners do a lot of things. They use bubble gum, chewing gum, they keep this thing afloat. And I often tell the story about a friend of mine who owns a huge dealership here. And he talks about early years when the manufacturer was sending trucks to take the cars off the lot because he wasn't making the payments, and he was standing out there with a baseball bat threatening the drivers, but on the phone with the company, give me another week. So you have to do these things. Nobody who's been successful, everything I ever read about business, nobody has started a business and it went great.
Exactly.
I'm still looking for that story.
It doesn't exist.
I want all of us to talk about credit. How do we talk to small business owners about cleaning up their business so that they can qualify, cleaning up the back end of their business, that credit score, getting everything in order, and being upfront about it? Because I think, and we talked about this, they're embarrassed.
Yeah.
But to us, man, you've done an unbelievable job of getting your business to where it is, making the money you made, taking care of your family and your responsibilities, doing what you had to do to get this business off the ground. Now it's time to grow it. Let's talk about that, and let's get rid of this stigma of being embarrassed to open your books up to grow.
Speak to that.
Yes, I actually have a passion for people like that, who, because no one is perfect. We're not designed to be perfect. And sometimes with small business owners, they don't want anyone to see that they had failure. But I embrace failure, because failure enables for us to grow. And you learn through failure. You learn what not to do. That's the key. Through anything, you learn, okay, what to do next, and that's how you grow to get to the next level. So when a small business owner comes to me with, UCC filings against them liens, it's okay. We can work with that. Everything is workable. It's not a permanent situation, and that's what you want the clients to understand. Because you have different obstacles in your way, we can work through that to get you to where you need to be. That's what they need to know, So
that stigma of being embarrassed, opening up their books, they should be not proud, but they should be like, look what I've been able to do under the circumstances in which I'm in. And I think a lot of our small business owners are so skittish about opening their books, but guess what? In order to get a loan or in order to get that influx of capital, you're going to have to look at those books at some point.
I look at it like this, Sam. I think business owners should look at business advisors as being like business doctors or physicians. I mean, think about going to your doctor, and it'd be great. How successful would it be if you went to your doctor? You had all these symptoms, but you were just not disclosing them. I don't want to tell my doctor I pass out every day, or I have heart palpitations, right? Well, if you don't tell your doctor, then how is the doctor going to be able to diagnose what he or she can do for you to resolve the issues? Same thing with us. If you try to hide and not be transparent about the things that we really need to know, and we will find out. Yes, it's just prolonging the diagnosis and it's prolonging you getting better as a company, right? You getting well as a company. And so that's really what we have been dealing with a lot of clients. And they'll come to us, and we're trying to move these financial deficiencies, and they don't want to disclose the documentation. And then, Sam, they go limping along for another 2 years, and they come back again 2 years later. Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Same place.
We can't. We still got to fix these symptoms before we can move forward and make you well.
Nicole, I want you to talk about this, and this is an important question. How does SBA financing expand the buyer's pool? So if your company, if you have financing through the SBA Small Business Administration, and you want to exit your business, how does that help you exit when people understand that you've already qualified for this financing, or does it help?
Well, you're saying that they already qualified for this?
Yep, you qualified for SBA loan and your business, and now you're ready to sell your business. Having already qualified for an SBA loan, does that help the value of your business when it comes time for you to exit?
It does help the value of your business, because the more capital that you have, that will help your books, and it helps building the credibility of your business. It strengthens your business, to be honest with you.
Wow. So Flora, talk about, you've been in this space, Flora, so talk about why it's so important for these small business owners out there to get their business in line in order, because again, they can't sell that business the way the back end is. And also talk about, we know some business owners now that we're working with that are currently paying, and these guys are making a lot of money, but they're paying over 21% interest going to hard money lenders and things of that nature when there's capital out there available for them, but they just haven't gotten their back office in order to access this money.
Well, I think we all can understand that if you build a business, you got great cash flow, but your cash flow management is not good, and you have payables, and you have loans that have high interest rates, and then you're going to try to come and ask a buyer to buy that. I don't want to buy that liability. I don't want to buy your business. You have loans. Your loan structures are crazy. You're getting 20, 30% interest rates on loans. You're using hard money, right? Mm-hmm. And those things don't look good when we do the due diligence and look at your books and try to find out if this is an attractive business to buy. So no, I don't want to buy that. I don't want to buy a dysfunctional business that has all these issues financially. And I think you would agree with that, right?
Well, I think also the structure, sometimes these businesses are not structured right.
Right.
Because if you look at Walmart is one of the biggest retailers in the world, and they use other people's money.
Sure, absolutely.
80% of them use business credit for inventory, mm-hmm. and the customers go in to pay,
right.
and that would pay on that loan, that credit. Mm. And then that cash money that they have, they can go and buy more retail.
Yeah,
I say on that point too. Even banks do that.
Yes.
Yeah. But you talk about good money, good money. As far as when you borrowing money versus.
But we got to get them to that
exactly.
point. They need to be structured.
Yeah.
They're using they need guidance. Mm-hmm. Even though they've been in business 10 or 15 years, some kind of way they get into a pitfall. Mm-hmm. And then once they come to professionals like myself, I would find the problem. And then from that problem, you identify it. You would let them know, this is what I see, and this mm-hmm. is how I can bring you out. But you have to go through all that is going through a consultation and things in that nature.
So, but sometimes we see bank statements, 6-month bank statements with inefficient fund. I mean,
that hurts
you got these negative accounts, and mm-hmm. but there's some issues there that has to be resolved. And so those are things that are hidden from us. Mm-hmm. That's why we can't get financials, because people don't want to see how they're managing their business and how the books are being handled.
Yeah, with too many insufficient funds, you don't even qualify for a loan.
Right.
So that hurts them. But we can still help them, give them the right information to gauge them out of that mm-hmm. behavior.
What are the different types of loans that you see the SBA provides that people can take advantage of?
Well, SBA is credit driven. So, and then they are based off of business must be in 2 years or more. Mm-hmm. So to be established, and it has to at least make $150,000 annually mm-hmm. to qualify. Mm-hmm. So with that, that's a 7A SBA loan.
And what are 7As used for?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What are they? Yeah. What are they used for?
What do you mean?
What can a 7A loan be used for? As a business owner?
You use it to scale your business anything when it comes to growing your business. That's mm-hmm. what you need to be using it for. Mm-hmm. Inventory, operations, mm-hmm. things of that nature.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is there other types of SBA loans that other people can qualify for? Like if I want to acquire another competitor that's in my same industry, or if I just lead because you talked about bridge loan, mm-hmm. you talked about the 7A loan.
A line of credit.
Line of credit. Then I think you also have a 504 loan. So there's different types of SBA loans. Like what can...
But you have every business doesn't qualify for each SBA. Mm-hmm. So we have to do a consultation with them to see what they would qualify. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For different type of programs. Because you want it doesn't mean you qualify for it. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm a realist. Mm-hmm. I look at it and I'll let you know exactly where you stand, Mm-hmm. So I just don't just talk about products when it doesn't even serve the purpose. Mm-hmm. That wastes people's time.
How many customers you work with kind of a year Yeah,
I can't even.
is it hundreds, thousands?
Yes,
Hundreds
Yeah,
and hundreds?
yes.
I mean, so
I can't even count.
I mean, one of the reasons we were so excited about having you on the show is because of that very reason, that you have so much great experience in
Yes.
working with business owners to be able to qualify and obtain the SBA, lending type of loans.
Mhm. And if they don't qualify, we can help them become qualified.
Talk about it. That's what I want. It's kind of a two-part question, Nicole. I want to ask you that.
That's
All
the thing.
What's the preparation to get yourself in line for an SBA loan?
Where's the financials?
And then if you don't qualify, you say you guys have mechanisms in place to kind of help that person clean up the areas of their business
Yes.
that they need to clean up so they can qualify.
Yeah, they have tax liens. It's so many different
So many
things. Tax liens, UCC filers, because if you have UCC filers, you can't get an SBA at all. And if you have tax liens, if you owe, with SBA, you can't owe no more than $15,000 to the IRS. So we have to look at the overall financials to indicate how we can position them to get an SBA. I don't know if we have much time for that.
Yeah, we got time. Expand on it. That's what you're here for.
Well, with that, we will look at to make sure that they have the debts, debt service, making sure that their business if they have any debt, SBA usually will look at that. And then they would pay off that debt too. So they have an outstanding loan with, like a bridge loan, for an example. We got them, they was at a 500 credit score. We got them a revenue-driven loan, was kind of high-risk loan. But SBA—
And y'all do high-risk loans.
Yes, I do high-risk loan. And then with that, SBA, we will put that into their debt service, and we would add that in, and SBA would see that, and SBA would pay that loan off for them.
Wow.
Yep. But then it's true that actually the SBA is not in the lending business. Actually, banks are the institutions that are lending the money, but the SBA guarantees the transaction.
Wow. And clarify that, Floyd. I mean, put it in layman's terms for the people out there listening. Even though they're going through the SBA, they're actually still getting the money from the banks.
Absolutely.
The SBA is just making, if they default on the loan, the SBA is guaranteed.
That's
You just said it.
right.
That's exactly what it is. If they default on loan, the
You mean tell me a basketball coach got a business finance question, right?
they will. SBA will.
I kiss my own self.
SBA will guarantee the loan, but still the borrower is on the hook for paying it back. Now that's a government loan.
Now, what kind of interest rates are we? Do the interest rates vary? How does those
It
type
does
of things?
vary because we have credit involved. So it varies.
So a bad credit score doesn't necessarily.
You don't even get a SBA with bad credit.
No, you don't.
But you're gonna help fix that. Now, how do you
Yeah,
do
I
that?
can
Now, let's talk about that because we've had a couple of clients that Floyd and I have talked to you about, and again. Let's be transparent.
miracles.
A lot of small business owners have bad credit. Why? Because the number one thing that they're fighting every day is cash flow. Right? And if you have government contracts, a lot of times those government contracts don't pay for 60 to 90 days.
Maybe longer.
So you got to float that money. So let's talk about from the standpoint of that. How do we help fix that? How do we help get them to the point to where they qualify for these loans? What do you do particularly?
Well, with the bridge, I can help repair their credit. It would take time, sometimes 30 to 90 days. It just depends. Because sometimes it could be just what you were saying. They're using their personal credit to service their company, which is a no-no.
So there's a difference between your personal credit and your business credit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What's the difference?
But so the difference is is major. If you have a business credit card, that hurts your utilization. That brings down your score. So if you're trying to get some type of more business credit, lines of credit, well, you're not going to get it because you maxed out your personal credit. So what I have to teach you is how to not to use your personal credit. Your personal credit is just there so you can be able to be approved. So we can move you from your personal credit into developing business credit. That's the way to go.
So they look at does your personal credit count towards your bid? It does.
Because you're a personal guarantor.
Okay.
As a personal guarantor, they will review your credit. By reviewing your credit will indicate how they will approve you for business.
So I got a question. You got a good business, you got good cash flow, and you want a loan, but you want that loan based on what your business is doing. not your personal. Does the SBA work with you on that, or is all
They're gonna
encompassing?
all, it's gonna
It's gonna be
all together
combined.
because
Okay.
you're personal guarantor in your business.
So no matter what you do, when you go through the SBA, you are personally guaranteeing that loan.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
How important is a Dun Bradstreet number these days? Because it used to be very important as far as business credit. Is it still?
It's very important when you're trying to grow, especially if you're trying to scale your business. They're looking at that. Like I was bringing up, Walmart. You know,
Can you explain to what Dun Bradstreet is? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even know that's a thing.
A DUNS number is a credit. It's like a social security number.
For business.
You have your EIN number is for tax purposes, and your DUNS number is for building credit. So it's 3 types of credit that lender will look at when they qualifying a client. Is Dun and Brad, Equifax, and Experian. And Experian is one of the leading ones that we all use. Most lenders use to qualify the client.
I'll give you a little bit of a pro tip. So for the last 5 or 6 years, I worked at a company where we were doing business-to-business transactions, and I was approving hundreds of thousands of dollars in transactions at a time. We were using Dun & Bradstreet to go and look at the business, to take a look at their creditworthiness, take from a business perspective. We were looking at what they were paying. Were they paying within terms? Were they paying late? All of those things. And all of those things are actually out there in that Dun & Bradstreet, the DUNS number database.
Right.
So if you are not aware of the information that they have on your business in that database, it could be wrong. So you need to make sure, as a business owner, when you're considering your business credit, that within Dun & Bradstreet, they have all of the right information in there. Because it's also a self-reporting thing. Right. And the way it works is if I do business with you, Floyd, you go into Dun's and you put your feedback on how I did with you in there. And that affects my business credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you need to be aware of, as a business owner, that there is that profile in your business out there, and do an audit on it and make sure that that information is correct.
Right, you can build that profile, right?
Correct. Oh, it's important to build it because the more you build the credibility, the more you can get funded. You're looking more lendable.
That's right.
Yeah.
I actually I came across the business credit randomly. So going to the airport, talking to the guy, got a drink at the bar, and the next thing you know, the guy next to me, he pulled out this card. I was like, bro, that's a nice card. He's like, yeah, it's a business credit card. He's like, dropped it. Ding. I'm like, okay. That's what got me. I'm like, what is this? So he started introducing to me about business credit. I didn't know nothing about it. I heard about personal credit. So at the time I was learning how to fix and grow my personal credit. So I destroyed my personal credit because no one told us about it. Build it up, destroyed it again to see if I can fix it up on purpose now, intentionally. As I did that, this was always also when I was in real estate. So now as I fixed my personal credit, I started learning about business credit because he put me on game. Grew my accounts, now acquiring all this money. So now literally I'm buying houses for my business credit card. So as we were talking about the utilization.
Yes.
That's important because utilization on a personal hurts you, but utilization on a business benefits you. So if I max out a business credit card, they're like, oh, you paid this off in 3 months. Cool. That's 100. Here's 150 for you.
There you are.
Versus on personal side, they're like, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
Why are you doing all that?
Yeah.
So
also it can, you may have a $5,000 credit card on your personal and they see how you using it. It can go down to $1,000.
Yeah. So can you really emphasize the difference between personal credit and business credit? Because you talked about the DUNS number. I like to see, I explain to people, it's your EIN is equivalent to your SSN. It's just one of them is for your business. So it's your new entities, your new child, your new baby. You just had a kid, you get a birth certificate and you get your social security number. You start a business, you get your EIN number and you get your articles of organization. Same exact thing. But now your business is at a point that is so young, so new, so empty. So how do you start growing up your business profile the same way, if you have a kid and they're social, how do you do it on your business side?
Well, it has to be structured correctly. And that's one of the things too, that some of the people, they haven't been taught, They use a P.O. box for their address on their business, and that's a no-no to a lender.
Right.
You're not going to get you're not going to get funded because they don't have the right information. So the structure is number one. So you have to structure that business first. The foundation of that business has to be structured, and it has to be consistent throughout. From the EIN number, from the articles, the EIN number, everything has to be matched because it has to be. You have to look lendable. Trustworthy to a lender to want to give. So you have to look like that part. So we have to teach them how to.
It's one of your clients.
Yeah,
they want an approval right
always.
now.
Actually, it is. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yes, but that's what. One of the biggest pitfalls I've seen with small business owners, they're not structured correctly to even be able to qualify to get money from a lender, you know?
So I like to tell a story for that point, exactly what you're saying. Like, we all got that cousin. We all got that cousin that's always asking us for money, borrowing money from us, but constantly moving. So like, he moved from Tennessee to Texas to New Orleans to Africa to Egypt, like just constantly moving. Got a new number every other week. So if I know that he's always moving, always changing his number, always like changing things, why would I lend him money? So like, if you ask me for $10,000 and I'm like, bro, I don't even know if you're going to be around next week. You just pop up randomly. The banks look at you the same way.
Absolutely.
If your business isn't set up in a way that your name isn't consistent, your address isn't consistent, your phone number isn't consistent, you're nowhere online, why would I give you money?
Correct.
So that's what you mean by that foundation.
The foundation is very important. It's the key.
Nicole, I want to ask you something as we wind down this show. I got 4 questions for you, and I want you to kind of just
I hope I can
tell me. I know you can. What is the biggest myth of the SBA, Small Business Administration? What people, I know when I used to think about the SBA as far as getting a loan, I just thought it was so difficult. Like just sitting here talking to you, I didn't know you could access capital 24 to 48 hours. I didn't know all these things, the line of credit. I didn't know there was different kind of loan structures through the SBA. I had just always heard that if you could qualify for SBA, you get a reasonable interest rate, you have access to cheaper money.
Cheaper money? Oh, what?
They went from an interest standpoint. Yeah.
Favorable terms.
Favorable terms. Excuse me. I'm a basketball coach, people. You know what I mean? Let's get this right now.
That was very cute.
That's a nice way to start not calling me ignorant, but I appreciate that.
Well,
and that word doesn't bother me.
When we talk about favorable terms, SBA, what that really means is that you might have a longer period of time to pay a loan off than you would if you went to the bank. And there's other favorable terms too, I know that you can talk about, but that's usually one that I talked about when I was working with the SBA as a coach. A lot of the clients wanted to get SBA loans because they wanted to extend the terms out a lot longer than they would be if they went to the bank.
Because it's affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't take long. One of the myths, some people believe that it takes a lengthy time to get an SBA, and it doesn't. Usually I can get your SBA in less than 30 days.
Wow. That's quicker than some institutions. Another question I got for you. Debt or equity? What's riskier? Explain it, you guys.
Debt is good.
It's a great question.
Wow.
Yeah.
Explain that to people out there, because a lot of people think, man, I'm in debt. Oh, man, they can't sleep at night.
I don't know why. Debt will enable a lender to see, okay, just like he was speaking of with Dun and Brad, they can pull your profile to see how you've been paying. That's debt to another vendor. Yeah. So they said, oh, he's been consistently paying this person, so we can give him more
I think
debt.
A lot of people get confused. They think they have debt. Oh, I can't qualify for
it. There's 2 types of debt. There's good debt and bad debt.
Yeah, so you don't want to run from debt. Debt, it helps you grow. You don't want to.
Can you explain the difference between the good and the bad?
I think one of the things with business debt is it's tax deductible. I mean, if I'm a business owner, I can write off my interest on that. So that I'm always looking to use OPM, other people's money, because I can.
Not OPP, OPM. I'm down with OPP people. I mean,
that's another show.
I'm old school. That's just me.
That's another show.
That's another show.
But but of course, you're not going to be taxed on loan.
Yeah.
Right? And you can write off the
interest.
The interest on it. So obviously that's better than equity.
Now, is there a good time of year to talk to a lender, to go to to try to get a loan to qualify for money?
No.
Or anytime?
Anytime.
The first of the year, my New Year's resolution to clean up my back office and go get a loan?
The whole year.
I have something to ask. Well, I first want to say I love your comparison earlier, Floyd, about how what you guys do is comparable to health physicians. You know, you just want to be super honest and open about what you have, the things that you have to offer and that they're going to see anyway. It's going to come out in the open.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it sounds like you're just in the business of helping people, essentially. So how can a business owner come as prepared as they can be to your office? Like, what are just some standard practices that they can come in and, you know, it seems like whatever state that you're
What do they need to have?
That is
What do they need to have?
Well, they need to have financials. If we're talking about, if you coming to me, it depends on why are you coming to me?
Okay.
You know, because some people
say
coming
for a
to me to
loan.
start a business.
Yeah.
Some people
They've never
coming to
done it
me
before.
if they looking for a loan.
Right.
So if you're looking for a loan, you have to bring your financials. Your
Okay.
financials may indicate 6 months bank statements, 2 years tax returns, account receivables, things of that nature.
So keeping financials organized
is very
for
important.
one,
Yes.
to come and bring that to you.
Good or bad, whether they're in good shape or
business
bad.
account, not personal, okay? Don't bring me no personal bank statements. How about you want a business loan? It has to be business bank statements. It's very important.
Because it helps make your job easier.
How I'm going to fund you off of a personal account?
Right.
You didn't come to me for that.
Right.
You came to me for a business. So we have to talk about
Those
structure.
are things that happen, though, right? You saying that because
All
it
the
happened?
time.
Yeah, right.
All the
Yeah.
time.
And Nicole, explain to people now, you're there to give loans. You're not there to turn people away. Your job is to try to get people qualified, to give them access to this SBA money.
Correct. Well, once they come in, we do a consultation. I will see where they are. Then I will see how I can project them to get qualified for the SBA. You know.
Now, Nicole, how do people look into that camera and tell people how they can get in touch with you, how they can access you, your phone number, your email? Because again, there's going to be a lot of people viewing this. They're going to like, and I never thought about from the standpoint one other question before I let you go. If I'm, and Nadia said that if I'm starting a new business, do SBA give loans to people starting a business?
No, they only
so
give.
no startup, only existing business.
Yes.
So these 2 years of
Listen, people,
2 years
don't
or
go
more.
calling Nicole with a great idea about a business you want to start and you need $50 million to start it. Now, she ain't going to answer the phone. You have to have a current business in business for 2 years at least.
Yes, 2 years or more.
or 680 credit score
Yes,
at least.
yes.
If I heard correctly. I was
So
learning
give
a lot.
them what they need, Nicole. Give them what they need from you.
Revenue.
Yes, you must have a 680 credit score. You must be in business for 2 years or more, and you must have at least make at least 150,000 revenue to qualify for
And
SBA.
that foundation,
The foundation
that structure.
is the key.
So, to your point, to get the structure right, if you're not structured right, what do they need to do?
Call Nicole.
Now, to get the structure right, what do they need to do?
They
Lord?
call her
You need to
Nicole.
call Nicole, but first you need to call the exit factor.
Call exit factor.
You need
We'll
to call
Nicole.
in your side. Nicole, now, Nicole.
What's that with a
Nicole,
yes?
give them your information. How can they get in
You can
touch
reach
with you?
me at Nicole. My name is Nicole Erica. My office is at 3379 Peachtree Road, Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30326, Suite 700. Contact Solar Solutions at .pro is my email.
And Josiah, to wrap this show up, explain to people, our listeners out there, what we do, why we're the best at what we do, and how to get your business ready to go see Nicole. And then after you see Nicole in your business scale, come see us when it's time to exit out of that business.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another exciting episode of the Freedom to Exit, and all kinds of great stuff going on. But, just like before, Exit Factor is all about helping increase business value by 60% or more. Sometimes we have customers achieve as high as 300 to 500% increase in value by working with Exit Factor in our program. And what I will say is Nicole is in our building, so feel free to reach out to us. We all are in the same office building, and we can help you get connected with her or just reach out to her directly. But I want to leave you with this. Debt is a tool for a business owner. That is not always a bad thing. And we talked about it earlier too, that Walmart utilizes debt for inventory, right? Debt can be a tool to help you scale, help you grow, and help you build on your business and leverage that tool for your benefit within your business, right? So don't be afraid of debt. Reach out to Nicole, reach out to Exit Factor, and we can help you scale in a way that you didn't think was possible before.
Absolutely.
Guys, thank you for for joining us for another show, Freedom to Exit. Here in Atlanta, Exit Factor North, our President Josiah Wiley. Thank you for joining us. And again, guys, it's time to exit the show, all right?
Remember, OPM, other people's money. Other people's money, that's right.
I thought it was OPP. What the heck does OPP stand for anyway? Hell, I never figured that out anyway.
Hey,
All right.
I just know you know me.
Yeah. See you later, everybody. Bye. 80% of businesses out there don't sell. 20% do. Be a part of that exclusive club. Don't allow things like death, divorce, disability, or disagreement to keep you from joining that exclusive club and getting 90% of your net worth in cash.
Hey guys, most people start their businesses because they have a vision for a lifestyle sometime in the future, to be able to have that business create that lifestyle for them so they can exit not on someone else's terms, but on their own terms. So you can do that now. I want you to go to our site, Plan That Exit, to do an assessment of what your business is worth. Because when we know what your valuation is, we can actually help you get that valuation even multiple times higher than what it is today.
Answer me this. Could you leave your business right now, turn off your phones, shut your laptops, not respond to any emails, phone calls, text messages, and it still be running like a well-oiled machine? If that's not you, then you need to visit our website, planthatexit.com. Like this video, subscribe, comment for more topics that you want to hear us talk about, and we'll see you guys in the next video.